welcome to the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse for CTN's live coverage of high school wrestling. Tonight, a Northwest Suburban Conference showdown as the Cardinals host the Champlin Park Rebels. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro sidelines, and Howie, a team in Coon Rapids is doing pretty well, feeling pretty good about the way they performed at the Rumble in the Red last week.
Correct.
And really looking to come in here and get back into the conference action with a good start against Champlin Park, a team that's down a little bit this season.
Yeah, no question. Coon Rapids comes in with a record of 7-2, 7-1, I believe 7-1, and Champlin Park here tonight. I think Champlin's program's down a little bit, so we've noticed on the schedule they've got about 5 forfeits here this evening. So Cardinals getting an opportunity to wrestle here against the Rebels, and they've got a couple of big tournaments coming up this weekend and next as well, so they'll continue to compete.
Well, and that's a key, is just the numbers it takes to have any program be successful. You have to have a good feeder program. You have to have the numbers all the way up, and obviously with a couple of holes in the roster for the Rebels here tonight, they don't have the numbers to fill some of those spots. So an opportunity, though, for the Cardinals. They want to be able to come out here and really take advantage of the opportunity at all of the other weight classes where they are going to face some competition. They want to be able to win those matches and have a very dominant victory here tonight.
No question about it. And we have an honored guest with us. Bob Adams, head coach for the Coon Rapids Wrestling Squad, is going to join us on our broadcast. Bob, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Special night for the program. Got parents' night, so a good crowd on hand, and got everybody out on the mat for the group picture beforehand. Talk a little bit. We were just talking as you were making your way over about the Rumble on the Red. Talk about how your team did last weekend.
Well, we battled. It was there were 72 teams there. Our guys, we've been kind of snake bit in the first round. We've really had some tough draws in the first round. We drew a kid named Cashman, who's ranked number 1, not in Minnesota, but in the United States. He's that tough. We've drawn him 2 tournaments in a row, which is really kind of sad. But at the Christmas tournament when we first went to 2 weeks ago, we had really good draws, and then 3 teams got shut down because of the weather, and so they redrew the entire tournament. And when they did the redraw, we had 4 kids that were ranked number 1 in the state to contend with in the first round. So that made made it starting off kind of on a negative note. Rumble on the Red wasn't too bad either. We had a couple of tough draws, but our kids wrestled tough. And we tell our guys all the time, when you get on the mat, you can't control the draws. You just got to go out there and do the best you can.
No question.
So we get this one started at 106 pounds with John Svobodny and Dylan Osberg for the Rebels.
Coach, so what are we looking for here tonight in this first match?
Well, Swobodny's a tough kid. He's been really working hard on his takedowns. John's very strong for his size. He benches about 150 pounds. He weighs 106. Give you an idea that, back when I was wrestling, I thought, we had, back when I was in high school, I know the guy that won the state title at 103 pounds benched 145 pounds. So John's got state tournament strength. Needs to loosen up a little bit. He tends to wrestle a little bit stiff, and we've been working on that with him. And hopefully he'll start working on some. We've been working on a knee pick with him. So hopefully he tries a knee pick here. He'll grab the guy by the head, and his left hand's going to go to the knee. He likes that snap down a lot too.
Well, Osberg doing a nice job early on of countering and keeping himself away from Svobodny. But definitely Svobodny is being the aggressor and looking for a number of different opportunities to get inside and get that takedown almost a minute and a half into the first period.
Well, this is an opportunity, obviously, to get back into conference wrestling, and if this schedule, we've got some tournaments coming up again. I think this weekend, correct? You got something coming up this weekend as well.
We're up in Hibbing tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We're going to be practicing in the wrestling room here at the high school, and then at 9 a.m. we get on a bus and we head up to Hibbing. So we've got some tough competition up there. So We're probably going to get 4 dual meets this weekend, 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday.
Which is good for the kids because they get that good competition and it really shows them where they're at.
Yep, we Bertha Hewitt will be. I think they're the team to beat. They're ranked number 9 right now in Class A. So they're a smaller school, but some of those smaller schools, the community really gets behind them, and everybody supports the program, and they tend to put together some pretty strong teams.
No score after first period of the 106-pound match, and that's what we were talking about as you were coming over as well as, any sport. It's really about having the numbers and having those numbers all the way up from the feeder programs up into the high school, and something obviously Champlin's struggling with a little bit right now with their numbers down a little bit at the high school level.
Yeah, it's real sad right now, and people don't understand how hard it is to get kids
Good
to wrestle.
takedown for Spodny right into a cradle, and as Osberg on his back near the middle of the mat, right off the bat to start this second period. Osberg in all kinds of trouble.
I did a nice job of setting that up and then getting him to his back.
It's a couple of back points, and Osberg able to get up and get the escape. One thing that, back to that is, obviously Coon Rapids, as long as we've been here, you have had that real great success with the Map Bandit program, moving kids straight up into the high school and keeping a good feeder program. What is the key to keeping that kind of thing going?
Retaining the kids you have, that's the key, and that's been hard for us as well. Wrestling is a high turnover sport. I've gone back and looked at some of our rosters over the years, last 3-4 years, and it seems like pretty consistently we get kids that come out, they give the sport a try, and maybe it's for them, maybe it's not. But John,
good headlock right to the mat.
Good thing he's off the mat. He's got to continue to work, get off the mat if he can. Yeah, he walked into that headlock.
Yeah, he did. That's going to make it 5-3. Cardinals going to lead with a little bit of time left in the second period.
Yeah, the key is retaining the kids. That's the hardest part. A lot of coaches do a good job recruiting kids, but then you got to keep them out, and they don't always stay. So, but that's why it's a nice reversal by John. That's why. We've tried to do things like go to this hibbing trip to bring the kids together.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it is kind of building that chemistry and that continuity together as teammates, and it's huge for the program.
Well, and with any athletic or extracurricular activity, it's got to be fun.
Yep.
Kid has to be having fun, or they are not going to come back.
Yep.
Now, we'll take a look at the takedown here. And a nice job. Couldn't get him to that pin, but had a nice position for it.
And we do a lot. We try a lot to do team building exercises or things, in the community. We take our team to movies. We take them out to eat after a tournament. We stay in the hotels, things like that. Are great team building things where kids can get together over the week, during the weekend. Have a lot of fun, get to know each other a lot better. Coach Tronson, he's the biggest kid on our team. He has
no surprise.
He has a lot of fun. He's yet to beat me in a dance-off, though.
Oh, now that's something we should get on camera.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't want to see me dancing. He can break a Buster move, though. I'll tell you that right now.
I love it.
Like to see John attack a little bit more lower level shots here. He tends to stay up on the head a lot, and we've been trying to get him off the head.
Takedown near the edge of the mat is out of bounds. So still in the neutral position, 1:09 remaining. And a 7-4 lead for Svobodny.
Yeah, I picked John up in the morning for our morning lifts and had a lot of great conversations with him. He's a great kid, good student, smart student. There's that knee pick right there.
Well, you know, as coaches, you guys are very involved with all levels, and I think that bodes well because your program has been successful over the years, and I think that the relationship you develop with your athletes is special over the years as well.
Well, I think part of that has to do with our coaching staff, too. We've had a very stable coaching staff over the years, and we have a lot of, Tronson's been coaching here for, I think probably 20 years or so. I've been here 23, 24. We've had our Todd Griffiths in our middle school. He does a great job with our middle school kids. He's a teacher in the middle school. Ryan and Jason Adams are working really well with our Matt Bandit program. So we've had a lot of stability with our coaching staff, and that's really important.
I think
to have that.
No question.
Totally agree. We see some of the programs around the school that have struggled, and those programs that have gone through a number of coaching changes in a small number of years continue to struggle. Right? And it's just hard to build any kind of consistency. There you see it. Svobodny. With the 9-4 win.
That gives the Cardinals an early 3-0 lead.
He told me to pronounce it like Snow Bunny. Svobodny.
Svobodny. Well, here's highlights from his win. 9-4 contest.
Nice cradle there.
Yeah, that was the takedown to start the second period. It's a good headlock that Osberg got on him.
So with the forfeit.
Ratzine with the forfeit,
yep.
And this will bring us to 120 with Zach Thomas and Fufua Vang.
Zach's having a great year.
Yeah, he's got 10 wins on the season.
Yep, he started off the season with 6 pins. And last year, I don't remember what his record was last year, but he came up as an 8th grader and at 106 pounds, and he really took some beat downs. And now you look at him, he's given the beat downs. So that 1 year of experience has really paid off for him, and I think he's getting tougher on the feet. That's where he's got to get tougher, because everybody knows right now he's tough on top. He gets on top, and he's pretty good with that cradle. Not too many guys can stay out of his cradle.
Well, and that's one of the things about wrestling is it's all about the effort you put into it, and I suppose that goes for almost any sport, but wrestling maybe more than some others. It's all about the effort you put into it and how much you learn, and you can learn a lot of these things in a short amount of time if you're willing to put in that effort.
Right, and athleticism. I mean, we've had some football players come out this year. They're good athletes. They've been really making leaps and strides. Coming on strong. I mean, if you're a good athlete in the sport of wrestling, you'll be a good wrestler. Mm-hmm. Wrestling traditionally doesn't draw the best athletes. We tend to draw football players and baseball players tend to be really good athletes. So when we do get a good athlete, they tend to excel at the sport.
Well, and you have to be so mentally tough, I think, too, as well, because it's such a grueling sport. And you put a lot of effort and a lot of time into working on your technique, but you also have to be mentally tough.
Yeah, that helps.
Well, and that's what I said it meant about, you can pick it up a little bit faster. It's not like, skating. You don't, or a jump shot, or pitching in baseball. Those are skills that really take time to develop, whereas a lot of the wrestling stuff, especially the basics, you can learn pretty quickly. And then it comes down to effort. And there's no question, I have said it for a very long time, no one works as hard as far as high school athletes as the wrestlers. I mean, you have to put in everything you've got or you're going to lose.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
It definitely takes effort. There's no question about that.
Oh, some
And
big
heart, a lot of heart.
trouble for Fang right here.
A lot of desire.
Thomas getting chest to chest with him. A lot of time left, and no chance that Fang's going to be able to squirm off the mat. There's the slap at 2 minutes and 51 seconds.
Nice pin by Zach.
Yeah, nice win for him, no question.
This kid's going to be tough down the road. You watch. This guy's he's going to be a tough wrestler.
A nice job here on the takedown. And then he really worked for that pin. Did a nice job of distributing his weight and getting him turned. There's the pin.
Moving on to 126. Champlin Park sends Zion Jesse onto the mat to face Gabe Degris.
Now, what are you looking for from Gabe here?
Well, we're hoping we can get a pin. Gabe's been really working hard. He's tough on top as well.
Got in deep on the double leg takedown and looking for that cradle early on in this first period.
I keep telling Gabe that he's sometimes a little too nice. Okay, we got to get meaner. That was a good shot. We told our guys before the dual meet started we wanted them to work on their plan A, plan B, plan C. You know, if we do have them out horsed, I don't want them pinning them in the first period. We want to, work on our plan A again, plan B, and then pin them down the road. That way we get a little bit better. Hopefully our opponent gets a little bit better as well.
When you continue to develop your skills by doing that.
Right.
Rather than just looking for the quick pin. And
so Gabe's cutting them and taking them down a couple times, 2 or 3 in a row. I'd like to see him do a different takedown other than a double leg. But there's a cradle.
And this one may be over before the end of the first. Actually, Jesse able to kick his way out of the cradle.
Gabe's doing a nice job building his lead here in the first period.
Let him down. We see right now, right there. But he was able to get the takedown. Letting a guy go with 11 seconds to go. That's pushing it a little bit. Even I wouldn't do that.
Well, you can hear the comment from Coach Johnson about that. You better hurry after you let him up.
Yeah, you better hurry. It's a good way to make the coaches look stupid is when you tell the guy to cut him and then we get taken down. I hate when that happens.
Quick to his feet, and Degris able to escape quickly to start the second period and right back to that double leg. How much of it, though, you talk about wanting to work on different moves and plan A, plan B, how much of it is take what's available?
Well, sometimes you got to do that too. You want to be able to force your will onto your opponent, and if you have a guy that doesn't give you your inside control, I mean, then you gotta go to your plan B. So I know just from my own experience when my sons were wrestling, you take what they give you, but at the same time you want to impose your own will too. So you can't worry about what they're going to do. You worry about what you're going to do.
Well, we had a lot of fun watching your boys.
Yes, we did.
In 20 years of watching Cardinal athletics, I don't know that we have seen anyone as competitive as Ryan.
Yep, Ryan. I was looking at some of his stats yesterday. I just was going through some old.
The fact that he broke his leg his senior year, was only out 4 weeks, and went on to win a state championship with never being taken down.
Yeah.
Didn't even get taken down once.
Yeah, he didn't give up a single point until the finals, state finals. He gave up a reversal, and you know, it was a smart move to do, is to give up the 2 rather than force it and get caught, you know, maybe for 4 or 5. But yeah, I had a great time watching my boys too. I'm very proud of them.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I still think about is how different they were. Ryan was so loud and yelling and cheering on everybody who was on the mat, and Jason was far more laid back.
Jason's a little bit more laid back. Yep, they have 2 different personalities. But when it came to getting on the mat, man, and I've questioned myself numerous times in a crucial situation. Who would I want to put out there? And they had, you know, 2 different skill sets, two different mindsets. Jason statistically was our best wrestler. He's got the highest winning percentage. I believe he had 197 wins and 11 losses.
Wow, it's incredible.
And 2 of those losses were when he was in 8th grade. I put him up at 112 pounds. He only weighed like 95. And that was probably the dumbest coaching mistake I ever made. But 2 of those losses came there. And he had the number 1 and 2 ranked kids in the state at his weight in the section tournament. But Ryan was a gamer too. You know, Ryan was 4-time All-American in high school and 3-time state finalist. It was just great to see them both have success.
Well, I'm sure they pushed each other as well.
Having a good workout partner is critical in this sport. And, you know, that's the reason, you know, a lot of kids transfer to Apple Valley, you know, nationwide, is because they have some of the best wrestlers in the room. And if you have a great workout partner every single day, you're going to get better. You have no choice but to get better. So,
under a minute remaining now in this 3rd period, and Degris in complete control with a 15-4 edge. He's going to cut him loose again.
Degris sold our winning Harley-Davidson raffle ticket last year on a door-to-door sale.
Wow.
Yeah, he knocked on some lady's door and she bought a Harley-Davidson ticket and she won. So he's pretty proud of that.
I'm sure. Why not? Absolutely.
Why didn't he come to my door?
Well, I'll send him there.
Only with the winner, though.
Only with the winner. Last 3 years in a row.
That's what I say every time I buy a lottery ticket.
Right.
Last 3 years in a row, a woman has won the Harley Davidson.
Oh, that's great.
So we're due for a male to win.
Well, Joe, there you go.
I'm ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready. Final 5 seconds, and it looks like this is going to be a major decision for Gabe DeGrease. Final score 17-5.
All right, this next match is probably going to be the match of the night, at least I hope. And I hope it goes in our favor. We lost to this guy twice last year. And Madimba is really coming on strong. I wrestled him the other day, and my goodness, he's as quick as lightning.
Yeah, I suppose the older you get, Bob, it's tougher to wrestle those quick young kids.
Yeah, I wrestled the other day. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Come on, Moise, get him. There you go. See how quick he is?
Yeah, he is quick, no question.
Got in on the double leg.
Come on.
Good job by McKinney fighting him off, at least momentarily. But
yeah, McKinney beat him last year 11-7 and majored him the second time. So I was talking to Moise earlier tonight. He's hopefully ready for this one. Dan Roth is the referee tonight, one of the state's best referees. Does an awesome job with the kids. He's a no-nonsense referee. He's given me a few warnings over the years.
Well, that's something I think is prevalent throughout wrestling is referees who take on a little bit of a coaching tactic, because it seems every time we do wrestling, they are helping the kids better understand some of the harder to grasp rules, and that's I think that's great. You don't see that in a lot of other sports.
Yep, that's what good referees do, and Dan is a good referee.
Great counter by McKinney.
Moses hit that. We call that a cricket, that low ankle shot. We call that a cricket. And he was really quick on that. And I was really amazed that he got away from us.
Well, he's getting in on the legs quickly. McKinney doing a nice job of
It's all about that first step and how quick he can be from it.
Ooh, nice arm drag. Beautiful. Luis came to wrestle tonight. It's always nice when you can beat somebody that's beaten you in the past, because it shows that your hard work is paying off. And we talked about how hard these guys work, and they do work hard. And when you come off the mat with a victory, it makes it all worthwhile.
Well, not that you don't need to be motivated, but it's that extra bit of motivation when you're wrestling somebody you've lost to before.
Yep.
You want to prove to yourself and to them that you can beat them.
Revenge factor is definitely there. Got a tight one going here as we get down to the last of the first period. Madimba a 4-3 lead after the reversal by McKinney. McKinney trying to get the cradle in there in the final 10 seconds.
Moise needs to use his hands more. He's got to attack his opponent's hands, control his hands, so he doesn't get turned.
So by the end of a long tournament, does Tronson ever lose his voice?
Nah, Tronson will never lose his voice. That guy's got more energy than the Energizer battery.
Bunny, yeah. The Bunny, yeah.
Yeah, Tronson's an amazing coach. He's not only one of my best friends, but just one heck of a good coach.
Yeah. A great guy.
And a great guy.
Absolutely,
yeah.
No question. As are you.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, that was a nice roll through he did with the ankle. It's called an ankle pass. Pass the ankle by. Hopefully he's going to come out on top here. That's a great defensive move by Moise.
At first it looked like he was rolling himself into trouble, but
it's kind of a last-ditch effort to counter your opponent's shot. He's got you beat, and we tell our guys, control hips, control ankles, you'll control your man. Hips, ankles, and the guy's head. Nice ankle pick.
Yeah.
There you go. Control those ankles, man. Moise came to wrestle tonight.
6-3 lead midway through the second period.
I had him in class, and he's an excellent student. Very highly intelligent wrestler. Very motivated. Very determined student. Not only in the classroom, but on the mat as well. Got an inside cradle there. Hopefully he can
30 seconds remaining period. 30 seconds.
Put him on his back, maybe.
Kenny holding on to the leg for dear life. Stalemate called with 15 seconds left in the second period. Dimba, good counter to break him back down to the mat. Nearly had him turned.
Yeah, doing a nice job of not letting him up.
He's getting a little high. Good thing we ran out of time there.
He's got in a nice spot, up 6-3,
Yep.
going into the third.
It's always nice when you're going into the third period with a lead. Got to find a way to break him down here and hold him down and protect that lead.
I can imagine sometimes when you have that lead going into the third, that 2 minutes seems like an awfully long 2 minutes period of time.
I've had 30 seconds where it seems like a long time.
I look at any 2 minutes on the mat as being way too long for me, but.
Oh, nice job. It's really obvious how much Madimba has improved. He is really coming on. Last year on our team, this year's team is kind of a unique team because we had one wrestler this year with a winning record, and that was Tim Mandyke. He's the only kid on our team who has a winning record to start the season. So I'm really proud of how hard these guys have come along. you guys, Madimba, he's doing awesome. Zach Thomas, again, I think he's got 11 or 12 wins now. Swobany, all these guys are they're lighting it up. Our lower weights last year, we were down 30-0 before we got to Josh Bryant at 152 pounds. We had to dig out of a hole every year, and we put some pressure on our younger guys, our lighter weights, and they've responded. They're really coming on strong. So
yeah, you called them out on the show in the beginning of the year.
That's right,
and they took it to heart.
That's good. They better. Oh, come on, Moise. Don't screw it up. It's 11-7 with 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, he was able to close that gap a little bit.
Don't get cradled here.
Well, there it was. Madimba cut him loose and then turned around and got taken down.
Yeah, well, sometimes that happens.
And now he's going to get cut loose.
Yeah, he was going for the major. But look at that, Nice
Good
job,
takedown.
Moise. Take him down.
He's got him in trouble.
Come on.
15 seconds left, and a good job by McKinney to kick back out, but still in a little bit of trouble. Under 10 seconds to go.
Great job.
And he's going to hold on for this win.
Watch your back. Really a nice job by Madimba. He got majored last year, and he got the major this year.
He's got to feel really good about his effort here.
Keep your shoulder straps up, or it's a team point.
17-8. The score, and a 23-point lead for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he was aggressive from the start, and I think that was the key to his win, is that he became strong right from the get-go, and especially against a wrestler he lost to a couple of times.
His confidence is really growing. Oh, they did ding us for a point. We've told our guys numerous times, you cannot pull your straps down when you're on the mat. You gotta come off the mat before you can pull your straps of your singlet off.
Yeah, and those are things that shouldn't happen, quite obviously.
And it's we'll address it tomorrow.
I think Coach Johnson's addressing it right now.
Yeah, they know better.
Well, and that's the bonus point he earned for the major instead of the regular decision with the last takedown and near fall points.
This is David Weiser, and man, David has really put his time in the weight room. He's done you look at his arms, he's much more defined, a lot stronger.
Boy, he got in deep and quick, and a lot of trouble for Seth Hogan with his right leg all twisted up underneath. He's doing a decent job with Quarter Nelson trying to keep Weiser at bay. But that's one of the things I think about when I watch wrestling is when you get stopped in your middle of your takedown, but you keep pushing and keep working until you get that point. That's kind of what, to me, shows the guys that really want to win, and those are the guys that make the varsity mat. Yeah,
you like I said earlier, you got to impose your will, and you got to have a strong determination. David Weiser right now is going for a pin. Hopefully he can get this.
Well, I'll tell you, the way he bent Hogan's arm back like that, there was a collective groan from the crowd. Ooh. It's all us old folks sitting up in the stands thinking about how bad that must hurt.
My arm hurts just because of
Weiser
watching
a little too high going chest to chest and not able to force the blades to the mat.
Yeah, David's done a great job. He's a leader on our team. He's a gentleman. He's a hard-working kid. Again, I had him in my class. One of my most intelligent students I've ever had. He's a very, very bright kid.
Well, you didn't get the opportunity to coach the young, or to teach the young Yund, unfortunately, but.
Well, is it too late? What grade?
Yeah, well, he's an 8th grader.
Oh, he's an 8th grader now, okay.
I don't think he's going to switch social studies teachers midway through.
I would convert him from. Is he a hockey player?
He is.
I would convert him by the end of the year.
I don't think that's
He
possible.
would be a wrestler by the end of the year. Think of the money I would save you.
Well, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Well, and actually, I remember joking when Aaron was first born about, you were saying, you got to get him out and wrestling, and you kind of knew that he would end up being a hockey player, and I really didn't push it. And there was a time early on when he was 6 or 7 that he was just starting to figure out different sports that we talked about it. He came to a couple wrestling matches. He was kind of interested, and he didn't show a lot of interest in hockey. And I thought he might actually end up being a wrestler.
Well,
but then he, once you get on the ice and you get the bug, it's a tough one. I often tell people it's not very often that you meet an athlete who is a hockey player second.
okay.
Most hockey players, a lot of them play other sports, but most of them will tell you they're hockey players first.
Okay.
We're doing some coaching with Coach Tronson over here. Not sure what. And again, a cradle and some trouble for Hogan.
Yeah, he's had him in trouble pretty much this entire match so far with a 10-1 lead.
Well, and with still a minute to go, right in the middle of the mat here in the second period, and now good job getting the leg over and controlling that other leg at least momentarily. Now trying to slide his body back out of the way, give Hogan's shoulders a bit more of a chance to get to the mat. And not letting him go, though. Got turned around.
He's trying to catch him on that shoulder drop. He's just almost got it, but not quite. David's going to have a great season this year. Just the fact that the amount of time he put in the weight room last year is going to make a big difference.
Oh, and this one I think is done. There it is.
There it is.
17 seconds left in the second period.
Well, he definitely worked him hard. He controlled this match, no question. I want to give a shout out to Ronnie Malling, the wife of head coach Greg Malling. She's decided to stay home and watch on TV, and give her a shout out. Hope she's enjoying.
Yeah, I was talking to Greg this afternoon after school, and we were talking about the number of kids in football that have come out for wrestling this year, which I'm really excited about. The fact that Coach Malling is supporting our program, and I really truly believe that those kids, when they come back next year, they're going to be meaner, they're going to be tougher, they're going to be a little bit more confident, they're going to be in better shape. They're not going to be afraid of working hard.
Well, wrestlers are tough kids as they are. Definitely, probably some of the toughest, no question.
So now to 145 pounds, Corey Cairo on the mat for Champlin Park against the Cardinals' Isaiah Thompson.
Isaiah's number 6 on our team in wins. He's been doing a good job this year. Ooh, he almost got caught there.
Yeah, seven wins coming into tonight.
Yep. He's 7-3 on the year with 4 pins.
Has there been anybody since the start of the season that really surprised you, and maybe you weren't looking to see if they'd do a lot this year that has actually have done so?
Zach Thomas. Zach is right now the surprise, I think, just for the fact that last year I don't remember how many wins he had, but it wasn't a lot. I know that, and he was an eighth grader last year, wrestling on the varsity, and like I said, he just took a lot of beat downs, and I don't know what happened to him over the summer, but he is definitely a new kid, and he's a whole nother guy this year. He's just 180-degree turn.
You got to love that. I mean, whatever he did over the summer has obviously
And
worked out for him.
Especially when it's such a young wrestler that you've got 3 more years ahead of you to see just how much he can achieve.
Right.
Just 2 seconds remaining here in the first period. Thompson, the lone takedown in this period, making sure Cairo doesn't get away at the last second.
Yeah, Isaiah, he's again one of our hardest working kids, and he's gonna, he's got the frame on him that he's gonna put on another 20 pounds of muscle, 20, 30 pounds, and over the next couple of years he's gonna be strong, and he does a lot of wrestling over the summer, and that's one of the biggest factors of how successful our kids can be. You can get an entire season in over the summer. And most of the kids at the state tournament, if they're wrestling in the state tournament, it's usually because they wrestled over the summer. There was a far side knee pick he just did. We've been working on that move a little bit with some of the kids in our room. The nice thing about that move, it's a low risk, high reward move.
Oh, and now a whole lot of trouble. Cairo, quick slap on the mat, and another pin. Third of the night for the Cardinals.
Good job, Isaiah.
Yeah, again, Isaiah, another wrestler, came out aggressive and controlled.
See that knee pick?
Yep.
Very nice.
I thought he was going to just, they were going to wheelbarrow around there for a little while.
He did a nice job of turning him, and then there was no question about the pin.
Yeah. Well, I think Cairo is tired of fighting from his back.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to see Spencer.
No.
Spencer Howe wrestled tonight. He's got a forfeit, but again, Spencer, quiet guy on our team, but he leads by example. That guy, he works extremely hard. He's very quick.
Super will get a forfeit at 160 as well.
And here comes Amara Kana.
The 170 for Champlin is Austin Winkleman. The 200, Mr. Amara Hanna.
This kid's a nice kid, too. He's very polite. Very polite kid.
Trying to remember who it was now. There was a wrestling captain a couple of years ago that when we came out and we were doing the preview interviews, and everything was yes sir, no sir, yes sir, yes sir. It kind of blew me away in today's world to have a high school kid that was that respectful. It's I don't think it happens very often. It's nice to see it when it does.
Sure.
And especially when it's a kid that I think a lot of people would look at wrestlers and go, "Oh, they're mean guys," but then
streak.
To understand just how much effort they put in, how hard they work, and then to have somebody like that, and I wish I could remember who it was to give him full credit. I know it was a captain, obviously, and it was someone at one of the smaller weights, but he, incredibly polite. So. To see that, it's nice to see something like that where it's maybe what people would least expect, kind of barring or breaking stereotypes of oh, these guys are just mean, angry.
Joe, wrestlers are the nicest people in
Yep.
the world. Shane Badness is exactly the guy you just described. Every time I've talked to that kid, it's yes, sir, no, sir.
That's great.
He's just a good kid, very respectful. But Amara, he's coming on. He's only a sophomore.
Good sized kid.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I was wrestling with him the other day, and he tends to hang on the head quite a bit, which we need to break him of that habit. But he's strong. He's a strong kid.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's wrestling at 170, and he's toned.
Yep.
I mean, that's a big, strong kid right there.
I'm watching to see if he hangs on the head here. He's working a 2-on-1. Yeah, there he's on the head. That's okay to pound the head. You just don't want to hang in there. Right now, he's hanging there. Little things win matches, and that's what we try to tell our guys. It's just the little things.
Great counter to get behind and get the takedown, and then lets him go right away.
When you get into habits, sometimes if they're not good habits, they're hard to break.
Yep. I'm really looking forward to this team in the future, because I think we have a very good middle school program coming up right now. I went and watched the 8th graders wrestle yesterday. They've been having a great season. So we've got about 8, 9, 10 8th graders coming up next year that are going to be difference makers, I think. And
That's great.
They're really working hard. So a lot of good things happening in our program right now. So we're really, really proud of it.
Well, you should be. I mean, this program has been successful, obviously, since we've been doing this, and before. But you're right, though. It's about building. It's about building the opportunities as a younger kid to get involved and work your way up.
I've always said, Joe was talking earlier about his son being a hockey player, and he finally found the itch. Wrestling's a lot like that, and I've always said I've never seen a 10-year-old kid drive himself to practice yet, and it starts with the parents.
Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The parents.
No question.
But behind most good athletes, you'll find a pretty dedicated parent, and we have great parent support in our program. I've been blessed over the years with having lots of parents. The parents down at this front table, all these guys, Lubinsky, Griffith, Volkman, these guys are, they come back, they contribute to the program, working the tables, doing the announcing. They love the sport. Their kids were all here.
I was going to say, and all three, their kids have moved on past high school, and yet they're still here helping out.
Yeah. And we get alumni that come in our room all the time. Work out with the kids, especially over Christmas break, New Year's Eve. They come in, they work with our guys. There's sometimes we have, like last week, we probably had 6 alumni in there, 6 or 7 alumni working with our guys.
That's great.
Well, and I'm glad you brought up the parent aspect, because it's and especially at the younger age, that 10, 11, 12, when kids are really becoming more and more involved in whichever sport it is, if they don't have the support of the parents to get them to practice, make sure that they're there on time, they have the necessary equipment, they're properly rested, fed, all of those things. It's really hard for those kids to become what they possibly could. So it is, I think, very important for parents to really support their kids in whatever they choose to do. And believe me, Bob, had he decided to put on a singlet instead of a pair of skates, I would have been here every time you needed me.
I'm sure you would have.
He's doing a nice job of building this lead.
Down to the final minute here of this third period. Well, and there are converts. Aaron, one of Aaron's best friends, TJ Scott, son of Kelly Scott, gave up on hockey this year and is now wrestling with that 8th grade team. So,
yeah, TJ's a good kid. Hopefully, he can find a niche in the sport, and he's still pretty young, and hopefully, over the years, he'll fall in love with the sport, just like some of these other guys have.
Well, I did have a chance to speak with him a little bit before tonight's match. He's having fun, and that's again, we're back to that having fun. They have to have fun in order for it to, in order for them to stay with it and really go after it.
Yeah, if you're not having fun, you're going to lose interest.
Yep.
So it's good to hear that he's having fun.
And again, wrestling has this, this stigma of being, brutally difficult. We have a lot of fun. It's not so difficult that kids can't make it through a practice. These guys are high school kids, and they definitely put a lot of time, a little effort into it, and it takes a commitment.
Oh, boy, he was so close. If he could have completed that takedown, it would have been a tech fall. Instead, it's a 19-6 major decision.
Yeah, Mara's going to be a good wrestler down the road, too. Again, he's doing all the right things out there.
At 182 for Champlin, Kyrie Lewis. For Coon, Mr. Nick Berg.
Nick Berg's coming out at 182 pounds. Oh, this guy's coming after him pretty hard, too.
Kyrie Lewis for Champlin Park. And Nick Berg getting a chance to wrestle at 182 for the Cardinals.
Nick has a great attitude, too. He comes to practice every day, works very hard. Needs to work on a sprawl. Kick those legs back hard. Nick's parents are very, very involved in our program, Scott and Monique. They are constantly involved in our Mat Bandit program. Scott's our director. There they are in the corner. Great, and when we talk about the supportive parents, they don't come any more supportive than those two right there. Monique takes care of all of our apparel. Scott takes care of our Mat Bandit program, and they both do an awesome job. Great people.
Yeah, it goes back to that point you made about the parents and how involved they are and how it helps this program grow.
I've always said I'm just a spoke in the wheel. There's a lot of spokes in our program, and every spoke is important. Every spoke holds the wheel up.
Yep.
It keeps it turning.
Berg got in pretty deep on that double leg attempt and just off the edge of the mat. Lewis able to sprawl away just enough. So still no points as we get into the final 30 seconds of this first period. There's another good deep shot for the single leg and keeps driving, gets the takedown.
Nice job. That was a crackdown he did. Pulled the knee down and jumped to the far side. First 2-point takedown.
That'll give him that 2-point lead going into the second period. A few more seconds, he may have had an opportunity to get him turned.
Yeah, he looked like he was heading that direction.
You got to hand it to these Champlin Park kids, too. They come out here, they know they're at a pretty big disadvantage, and yet they're still here.
Well, yeah, no question. That's something that I think the Cardinals program benefits from is success breeds success. When you see a program that is successful at the top, more kids want to be a part of it, and it's easier, as you talked about, retaining those athletes. Sure, you lose some, but you're able to retain a lot because they know they want to be a part of a winner.
But you're right. It's about involvement in the community. I mean, this Champlin Park team has been more successful in the past. Obviously, a down year for them. But we've seen plenty of matches against Champlin Park where they've been very competitive, very good.
Oh yeah, Billy works hard.
Yep.
It's a hard-working coach. And again, sometimes it just goes in cycles. Nick's working on a cradle here. This is called our Cardinal cradle. He's trying to get that guy to step up, which he just did, and there's the cradle.
And Berg has Lewis in some trouble right in the middle of the mat. A minute to go in this second period. There it is.
Nice pin. He worked hard for that pin.
Nick's a hard worker. Good job, Nick Berg.
See the takedown.
Watch how he steps up on that far side leg, comes across, hits a cradle.
He just stayed with it. Nice job just staying with it to get that pin.
Yeah, he got his body in nice position, put that knee into the small of his back.
What the heck? Jack Shack.
There's another very good young man. You know, we got to obviously talk to him during the football season. Just a nice kid.
He's a awesome
Very
kid.
respectful.
Very nice kid, hard-working kid. He's one of the leaders on our team as well. He's got an awesome double leg, which I'm sure we're going to see in about 3 seconds.
Nope, Coach, he's working on A, B, and C.
He's working Plan B right now. And we like to see our guys do that. You don't want to develop, you got to have a plan B, Plan C, because every wrestler you wrestle, some are different body types, different body styles, and you're not always going to get what you want.
Well, and one thing I've always noticed, a lot of wrestlers, and I don't see anybody on your squad right now doing it, but a lot of wrestlers will wear the single knee pad. And doesn't that kind of give away to your opponent which way you want to go?
If your opponent's smart, yeah.
I mean,
that's
if
smart.
I see a kid wearing one knee pad, I'm going to go, okay, he's going to dive with that on that side.
Yep, that's a very you would have been a great wrestler, Joe. And again, most people don't pick that up, but when I was in college, I hurt my thumb really bad, so rather than tape up my thumb, I taped both my thumbs, so the guy didn't know which thumb was hurt.
Yeah, it's those little things, and you take advantage of those opportunities.
Yep, little things win matches.
And actually, I think I might have been a pretty decent wrestler. I was always battling my much larger brother, and then once kids found out I was claustrophobic, all my friends liked to try and hold me down because I was claustrophobic, and I would generally throw 2 or 3 of them across the room just to get away. So I probably could have, but it was during the winter. It's a killer.
Hockey.
Yeah.
Well, I wrestled with how many pieces of fried chicken I'd eat. That was my big deal with wrestling.
Well, if we can win this match, I believe this is our last match of the evening, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't show anybody at 220 or heavyweight. Sheck getting in on a single leg again and getting the takedown right before the end of this first period. So they'll have a 4-1 lead going into the second. That is just watching Coach Tronson over there. He's so
demonstrative.
Yeah. But he's kind of mellow right now. It's like it's easy when you're up
Look
big.
at him. Look at him. He's sitting there relaxed.
Meditating a little bit.
Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. he'll be hanging on the ceiling in the wrestling room. We practice at 7 a.m. tomorrow,
and then take off.
And then take off, and like I said, that guy just goes and goes.
Schlegel able to get away as Sheck just couldn't get the combination he wanted.
Are you guys going to be here next week for Centennial?
Well, Coach Johnson was asking us that, and we'll have to see. I know we've got something Tuesday and Thursday, but I would love to be able to come back and do that match.
That's going to be a good duel.
Yeah.
At least I hope it will be.
Double leg
team wins.
And Sheck trying to end this one. He's got Schlegel in a lot of trouble. Schlegel doing a nice job of getting his hips turned. But once he tried to reverse, oh, there he got back out. No, yeah.
He's fighting to stay out of that pin.
And Sheck getting a little bit too high on the chest to chest.
There it is,
He's able to hold on though and get the pin at 320.
20 seconds. Coon Rapids, Mr. Jack. Yeah.
Five pins on the night for the Cardinals.
At 220 for Champlin, we have Brad Johnson. For Coon Rapids,
They are going to send out
Yep.
Brad Johnson. And this is one of the best names ever.
Friendarius.
Friendarius Willis.
He's a great kid, too. He's just very much a gentleman.
Boy, and you want to talk about muscular. At 220, what does he stand, 5'5"? I mean, he looks tiny out there
taller than
as far as height-wise, but look at the size of the pipes on that kid.
He's a strong kid. Very powerful. And at the beginning of the year, he made a lot of mistakes. We've been working on it with him. He's becoming a much more controlled wrestler. Hopefully, he can eliminate some of his mistakes.
The kid's got, just shoulders and arms and
He doesn't know how strong he is. Bam! Oh, that headlock.
headlock, and he's looking over. I love it. You can tell he's kind of a little newer to the sport. He gets the headlock, gets the takedown. Now what do I do? Oh, I just roll over like this and just bend him until he is on his back like this.
He's
Is that it?
got him pretty tight.
Yeah, there it is. Wow.
That's a pretty serious battle right there for Friendarius. And again, love the name. I don't know if that's a family name or where they came by it, but it is a great name. And Johnson a little slow to get up, a little shaken by the headlock. And Friendarius comes over and says, I hope you're going to be okay. Good sportsmanship.
Yep, always.
And Johnson's going to hobble over to the trainer. And Mandyke will come out and get his arm raised for the forfeit, and that will end the night.
There's that one for him, and yeah, a nice night for your squad.
Yeah, the guys looked pretty good. Hopefully, we look just as good this weekend.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. A good warm up for what you're expecting will be a very tough challenge for you up in Hibbing all weekend. I want to thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast. Wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Yeah, definitely good luck, Coach.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
You bet. But that is going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score from Roger E. Carlson. It's Coon Rapids 74 and Champlin Park 0. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Coach Bob Adams and the one and only Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young saying good night.